So when solving a system of linear equations, we would generally want the opposite. So if we add these up, if one had a 5y in one equation, then the other one needs to be a negative 5y. Or if we had a 2x, then the other equation needs to have a negative 2x. We want the opposites. So when we add this together, 1x plus 1x is 2x. And y plus negative y is 0y. And you really don't even need to write this down because 0 times y is 0. Negative 3 plus 1 is negative 2. So we have 2x equals negative 2. And then we would divide both sides by 2 to get x equals negative 1. So to figure out what the y is going to be, we can put this value into either one of the equations. It's up to you. It shouldn't matter which one. I'm just going to put it in the top one. So instead of x plus y equals negative 3, we're going to have negative 1 plus y equals negative 3. And then we would add 1 to both sides. And our answer is y equals negative 2. So the solution to this whole thing would be negative 1 comma negative 2. So if we were to graph this, they should intersect at the point negative 1 comma negative 2. So this next one is a little more complicated because there's not an obvious opposite. You always can decide if you want to get rid of the x's or get rid of the y's. Sometimes with experience you just notice which one's easier. I'm going to get rid of the y's. So I'm going to multiply everything in the top equation by 4. So when I do that, and a common mistake is not to multiply this very last number by 4 as well. So 4 times 5x is 20x. And 4 times negative 10y is negative 40y. And 4 times 5 is 20. Some teachers will say find the lowest common multiple, that kind of thing. You don't have to do that if you don't want to. I just like to multiply by the other number there. And as long as there are going to be opposites at the end, we're going to be fine. So this other one, the bottom equation, I need to multiply this by the 10 there. And when I do that, 10 times 6x is 60x. And 4y times a positive 10 is a positive 40y. And this is good because I can look at it and already can tell that negative 40y and the positive 40y will make 0 and just kind of go away. And then 10 is 20. So now I need to add up these equations. And when I do, 20x plus 60x is 80x. Negative 40y plus 40y is 0y. Kind of goes away. I'm going to write it. 20 plus 20 is 40. And then we would divide both sides by 80. And that's going to give us x. X is going to be 0.5 or a half. So we'll just put down a half here. And then to figure out what the y is going to be, you pick either one of these equations and put the value in for x and then solve for y. So I'm going to do it for the second one, the y the second one, because I know 6 times a half is 3. And if I did 5 times a half, I'd have 5 halves or 2.5, and I don't want that kind of hassle. I like integers when possible. So we're going to do 6 times 1/2 plus 4y equals 2. 6 times a half is 3. So 3 plus 4y equals 2. Subtract 3 on both sides. It gives us 4y equals negative 1. And then divide both sides by 4. And we're going to get y equals negative 1/4. Make sure you check your answers for this. And our solution then is 1/2 comma negative 1/4.